Alright, so I was editing the video and I realized that I never recorded an intro. So here we go. This is intro. This is chapter 1000 review. Also going to talk about some of the cool projects that they have done for the celebration of this year. It's all exciting. I'm excited. This is great. It's also my birthday today, so this is fun. Love it. Good day. Today's a good day. Alright. Enjoy the video. So you've got the 100T, 100 world top 100 vote website, link in the description. When you get here though, it's in Japanese, so I mean it's pretty easy to figure out. I figured it out without switching it to English, but apparently you can switch it to English. See how your mouse kind of like, sometimes you can see it, sometimes it's not there, but boop, and you just switch it to English, and it loads back up. Now we're in English. So you can vote once a day, I think, right? Yeah. Once a day. Daily vote after 12 a.m. Japan Standard Time. I'm just going to vote on the same time every day. So, yeah. This one's not really a rule. It's more about how to do it. So you can go vote. This part is interesting. This part I don't like right now. So you can go to all the different world, like parts of the world, and it'll show you who the top 3 for that day, I guess, is. And so far, going through all of them, it's been Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. Different orders, but it's just the monster trio. Like, can we get a different? Can we get some diversity up in this votes? I'm tired of seeing the monster trio. Like, I love them and they're great, but like, why? You know, the first day of these... Oh wait, it changed! Yay! Law's third in Japan. Nice. Law's great. Literally this morning I checked it when I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. It's currently 7. So, like, it changes, I guess, pretty quickly. But like, monster trios. Wish we could see the numbers. Or maybe it does show the numbers. I'm just blind. No, it doesn't. But like, so as of now, 7 a.m. January 5th, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy are the top 3 in every sector of the world except for Japan, who is Law is in 3rd. Like, can we get some diversity up in here? Can we see some Ace? Please, I want to see Ace. But that's cool. I don't know how to go back, actually. And then there's this cool thing. There's like little figurines that, yes, they're gonna like do every day. Also, the voting goes until the 28th of November. Yeah. I don't know why all of these are blank. This is Luffy right here. And they're Wano country outfits. So, yeah. I wonder if they're probably gonna sell these. It's part of the Bandai Spirits. Okay. So it's part of an arcade. That's sad. I'm gonna have to order them online and probably pay extra. But yeah. So that's that. That's on that website. And then also, we've got the One Piece 1000 logs. At the beginning of it, there's this message from Eiichiro Oda. Can't read Japanese, but from the transcriptions and other videos I've seen, it's basically talking about how, like, he's just him being humble, honestly. And talking about how he never thought people would stick around for this long for the manga, and never really considered calling it us, those of us who love One Piece, fans, because he didn't want to get a big head, which that's Ah, I'm getting chills right now. And then the last paragraph is him just asking for a favor from the One Piece fans. That we take care of Luffy and the Straw Hat crew for the rest of their adventure. And that's just... Also, this music's a vibe. So, yeah, you got the One Piece logs. All this other One Piece stuff. And so, just go in and you can see, I believe it's cover stories, right? Yeah. See, East Blue, Alabasta, Skypiea. More Skypiea. Thriller Bark. Waters. No, that's okay, so they're not really in order. And I got no way of knowing which is which, but you just kind of have to go through. It's got all of them up until the recent ones. But it's great. And so you can just go in, you click on it. It's got this really cool animation thing. You can skip, but I like watching it. And it'll give you all the cover stories, which is so great. So see, it's Hachi. It's his Tokoyami shop, which for the manga readers, because this is happening during Skypiea, so this we knew this was Hachi right here. Like, this is Hachi stuff happening. This is him having survived from the Arlong pirates, and he's in love over here, I guess. Something. Color spreads. Where Usopp's teaching something, and everybody's asleep. The cover spreads are always so much fun, and I'm glad there's now a space to see them all, because before you'd have to search for them. And oh. So I could literally just sit here for hours going through this. But yeah, that's the One Piece 1000 logs. Also be in the description below. And finally, we've got another chapter of Shokugeki no Sanji, which, gosh, it's so crazy seeing Sanji and the Straw Hats all drawn up in the style of Shokugeki no Soma. Really good read, honestly. If you have access to the mangas, you should read it. It's great. It's I read Shokugeki no Sanji before I read the 1000 chapter, because they came out at the same time. It's like, oh, this is a thing that's happening. But yeah, it's really good. I liked it. So first off, we have the I'll throw it up on the screen here, but we've got the chapter 1000, not chapter 1000, this week's Shonen Jump cover that goes alongside last week's Shonen Jump cover, which is great. So on this one, you've got the Jujutsu Kaisen guy with Arlong, which I haven't read. Words are hard. Jujutsu Kaisen yet. It's on the list. I have too many on the list at the moment. It's insanity. You have Shirahoshi with Asta from Black Clover. On the left side, you got the Senku with the Ace, Deku with Don Krieg. And I need to find a much full-sizer picture of this because I cannot see everybody. But yeah, you've got, it's a lot. Let's see what else. Honestly, and these are all serializations that are currently happening, right? Which tells me I need to read more manga. Because a lot of these, I love the art style of a lot of these. And some of these have, like the guy next to Smoker. That guy looks interesting. I want to figure out what that anime is. Same with the Chopper and Toshigi ones. Those look like interesting animes. Or mangas. I need to check them out. And I love that it's Bellamy with Mash Bernadette. Because Mashal is so much fun, and honestly, he has so much Bellamy energy, minus the being the bad guy part. But like, his Bellamy energy is just it's great. That's that one, and then we've got. So after that, we've also got the second part of the One Piece chapter 1000 color spread. And well, chapter 999 and 1000 color spread. It's literally an updated version of the chapter 100 with all the new Straw Hats, because the past ones, sorry, I really should have pulled this up beforehand. Oh, well, we do it on the fly, who cares? Probably. So the chapter 100 color spread, you only had, because 100 is when they were going into the Grand Line, I believe, right? So you have the Zoro, the Usopp, Sanji, Nami, Luffy. 5 members at that time. Now you've got the updated one. You've got Zoro and Sanji, who basically only almost looking, I mean, minus the whole updated versions, right? But same kind of style, right? You've got Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Nami, Luffy, all basically the same. But now you've also got Chopper in between the 4. Robin next in between Nami, Sanji. Frankie behind Usopp. Brooke grabbing the what is it, the grabbing the 2 swords from the from the Jolly Roger of Goldie Roger, and Jinbei, since he's now officially part of the Straw Hat crew. Well, he's been for a while, but you know. So that's now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in 900 chapters, they doubled the crew size. But yeah, I really like the color spreads. They're so much fun to look at. There's a lot of details because, you know, Oda's about the details. So, actually, and you can see it even in there. Like, you can see, like, it's only honestly been 2 years since, as far as in the words are hard. My brain just froze. Sorry. As far as the take these off. Not listening to that no more. I was listening to stuff from the logs. You can see the age in their faces, right? So like you can see that they've grown up a little, and it's great. So that's that. Now, chapter 1000 was a doozy. A lot of people were probably like, oh, you know, a lot of the theories were not correct. Did we see anything about the Woolly? I'd say we saw more of the inherited will between Luffy and Roger. Definitely. And more of the inherited will between Ace and Roger. Definitely. But like the explanation of the Willow D, no. We do know that the journal talks about Willow D, and well, we'll get to that. But so like, you know, it starts off. So first off, name of the chapter, Straw Hat Luffy. It's such a great name for this milestone. And the manga, the chapter starts with Luffy, and it ends with Luffy, and it's great. But you start off, and it's just, you get to the fifth floor. It's, you know, Luffy's there, and everybody was thinking, you know, there might be someone there, maybe. There definitely was. But the Dogstorm Three Musketeers took them out. Well, I love that they're called the Dogstorm Three Musketeers, but there's like way more than 3 of them. But so there's that. So like, it's great because Shishilin. Shishilian is there, and he tells Luffy, yo, this is the best we could do. Go ahead, we've cleared them out for you. And Luffy, in his oh so wonderfulness, was like, oh, sweet, thanks, Lion Viper. And Shishilian corrects him with his name, Shishilian. And Luffy is just, Luffy, for being that stupid, almost, he's not dumb. We know he's not dumb, but he's got that carefree kind of I don't care vibe. Not I don't care, but like forgetful. Although there is the carefree vibe, like there is that vibe of he doesn't care about the details. Just tell him who he needs to beat up, and he'll be there to beat them up. But so yeah, and it was like, he corrects me. He's just like, but he knows how to punch you in the gut emotionally. He's like, yeah, whatever your name is, don't forget, I haven't forgotten what y'all did. I'm just like, how y'all risked y'all's lives to protect Raizo. Which, honestly, like, so you've got the Minks and the Scabbards, or the Kazuki clan, and they've got their alliance that they've had for years, ages. And it's just, and Luffy just respects it, right? Like, Luffy is all about protecting your friends. And literally the Minks literally getting wrecked and dying and just getting destroyed by by Jack and his crews and the Animal Kingdom pirates, just getting absolutely destroyed, but not giving up on protecting their friend. That's something Luffy can get behind. That is like literally the definition of how to piss off Luffy. And it's Luffy. Like, you know that if Luffy was in the Minx's position and that was any of his crewmates or friends, Luffy would have done the same thing. In fact, hold up. It's actually a great callback. I just thought of this, and I don't know why I didn't make this connection while I was reading it. Like, he literally does this. Like, this has been Luffy since day one. When, back in the Goa Kingdom, when he gets caught by Blue Jam and the pirates and his pirate crew, and they are literally torturing a child, and Luffy won't give up, where the treasure is, where Ace and Sabu are. Sabu. Did I really just say Sabu? Sabo are. They are literally torturing a child. But Luffy won't give away anything. He will protect them till he dies. And like that's why didn't I see that earlier? Oda's great. This is the first page, Oda. But like, which it hurts, and Shishilian starts crying after he says that. And I just love, this is the confidence Luffy has in, they're all helping him get to the roof so he can beat up Kaido. Like that's gonna happen. But the confidence Luffy has is going up against the strongest creature in the world. He's at the bottom of the steps, about to run back up, and the last thing he says to the musketeers, "Thanks, I'll be back." Like, what? Like, there's not even hesitation. He's like, "Thanks, we'll see you later. I will be back." Like, that's great. Then it switched scenes. And honestly, I can't wait to see this chapter in the anime. It's going to be so great. Switch scenes to Marco and Zoro versus King and Queen. And, excuse me, up until this point, we've thought that the Phoenix thing was kind of like only the legs were tangible, because that's how you attack. But freaking Marco's up in here grabbing King and Queen by the neck, holding them down. Even Queen's like, what is this man? Like, we can't hit him, but he can apparently grapple us with his wings. Also, Queen's a robot or cyborg because extendo neck, which explains the guns in his mouth. So, yeah. I love Marco. He's so carefree as well. He's just like, yo, guys, chill. Just let the man get to the roof, man. Just chill up. Let him go. And then he just yeets the Zoro through the hole. Which, by the way, Queen was like on the 3rd floor, so that's 2 stories, 3 stories essentially worth of throwing someone through the air. And the precision to launch him 3 stories through a hole in the ceiling made by Kaido, which Kaido's a big dude. That's still some, and through the center of it. He didn't smash into a wall. As far as we can tell, he didn't have to like grab onto the edge of the wall or the edge of the dome and pull himself up. No, he just got yeeted through that hole. Which, that's some... A lot of people want Marco for Straw Hats, but I think Marco's definitely part of the Grand Fleet, but not like definitely an ally. And I can see, honestly, a whole different story, but I can see the other Whitebeard pirates coming back later, in later arcs and whatnot. Then we switch again. More scene switching. It's just scene. It's bah. We get the back to Momo and Yamato talking. Yamamoto. I'm terrible with names. It's fine. Talking, and it's Momo's like D, and you can tell he doesn't really get it because like when Yamamoto says it, it's the D with the period, but when Momo says it, it's the D-E-E. So like, it's like D. What? Huh? It's like, that is my father's journal? Apparently someone saved the journal. That's how Yamamoto, because everybody was wondering, how did Yamamoto get Odin's journal? Like, they burned that place down. But on the day that they burned the castle down, Yamamoto was walking by the river apparently and found the book. So, which is very, very Ohara style of saving the precious text and throwing it into the river. Now, it's possible, because it is plausible to make that it's kind of a little bit waterproof. Not waterproof, but like water resistant. I mean, he wrote the journal while out on the sea. That book definitely got wet at some point. Especially since Odin didn't have power, so I'm sure he had a habit of just yeeting himself into the water every once in a while. Maybe to save his compatriots who did have powers. So, yeah. It's Odin's journal, so it has everything about Odin, which is great. And there's like he was born. The Momo was born on Whitebeard's ship, and then he went on Roger's ship as well. Which I guess Momo was real young, so he definitely don't remember it. It's like they said that in the future, over 20 years later, the new world here would be overrun by young, powerful, new pirates. And the whole time she's saying that, like, you've got Law, who's looks like he's still fighting his way up. Well, in the picture, you see Law activating the room thing, which honestly, from what we saw and seen in past chapters, it's not too crazy to think that Law has been moving around the basement, looking for the poneglyph, probably found it, did the copy thing, with the paper, copying the poneglyph, and then he's probably just doing room and just yeeting himself up to the top. Because we know that he can do some mega-sized rooms. So, he did it on Punk Hazard. So, is that really that crazy that he can do, like, yeah. And he probably replaced himself with maybe not a person, like some rocks or something, debris, right? And then the right to the left of Law, you've got Kid and Killer, who are just probably crushing it through people, because honestly they've both got motivation at this point, and Killer especially because of what they did to him, and Kid especially because of what they did to his friend. So yeah, Yamamoto. I cannot board the names. He's like, yeah, that's what's happening now. And it's like, I believe that Ace was the forerunner. Yamamoto believes that Ace was like the forerunner of this. The one who comes before the main. The hype man, if you will. And when he died, apparently, when Ace died, Yamamoto saw that Ace died. He remembered something that Ace told him. We don't get to see what Ace said. We just see the whole, slip of the tongue. I wasn't supposed to say that. Which, the man is drunk at the moment. You could tell from the picture. So, it's that classic, like, but even in his drunken stupor, he's still like, no, wait, no, that shouldn't have come out. Oh, no. It's like, forget about that. And anyways, don't laugh at that. Only Sabo and I are able to laugh at that. Which means he's talking about what Luffy said back in Goa when they were all on the cliff. And it's like, oh, I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. And then Luffy is like, I'm going to become. And then it cuts away to just Ace and Luffy looking dumbfounded and then laughing. Which happened again with Roger, Odin, and Whitebeard, where Roger was like, I'm gonna become, and it cuts away to Whitebeard and Odin just looking like, what? And then laughing. Which everybody just assumes, and even I, up until recently, assumed that they would just say that they're going to be the Pirate King. But then I remembered, there was no Pirate King before Roger. So what did Roger once become? So what is this thing that Roger said? Because Yamamoto then says, oh, don't worry, Ace, I'm not going to laugh, because a great man in this book also said that. Okay. Which a lot of people were saying that it's something Joy Boy said. But like it literally says it in the chapter, is like, those are the words the King of the Pirates spoke. So obviously it's what Roger said. He was like, that's what a great man said. The same thing. Ace was like, oh, a great man? That's good to hear. One day me and Luffy should sit down with him for a drink. And it's just crazy to think about that, because y'all also sitting here thinking about Roger. And we know that Ace hates his father, who is Roger. It's just this comparisons, right? And of course, at the time, no one knew that, because everybody found out about that at the Pyramid War, at the War of the Best. And so, like, no one knew. No one knew. And Yamamoto apparently is the one that made Ace's Vivida card, which leads me to believe, because so whenever the Ace gives it to him, it's like, oh, it's a cool thing from the New World, right? Like, Vivida cards come from the New World. So a lot of people are glossing over this. And maybe it's because they've mentioned it before and I just forgotten. But we get Sea Stone stuff comes from Wano. Vivida cards come from Wano. Wano and some of the best swords in the world come from Wano. We have been hearing about Wano since the early days of One Piece. Like, Wano is probably one of the most hyped up islands in One Piece after Raftel. And, like, it's crazy how much of an influence this small, tiny, isolated island that's cut off from the world has such a major impact in the world. And I think it's great that Oda's doing this, that, like, this battle we're going to see that will either be finished in this saga or maybe not, but this, what's about to happen in Wano Country is literally going to affect the whole world. And it's crazy to think that such a small country, small island that has no ties to the world, has such a great effect in the world. And that's such great storytelling on Oda's part. So it gives him the Vivida card, and Ace leaves on his little boat thing. He's like, oh, let's meet again one day, Ace. And obviously they don't, because Ace dies years later. And it's like one day the piece of paper from Ace's Vivida card just probably burned up like it did, like we saw during Marineford, War of the Best. And it's like shortly after that, I learned the truth. I learned Ace was Roger's son. And that the little brother really had made a name for himself as a pirate. That was Luffy, the man you brought here. And it's great because you see this little panel of Luffy running up the stairs, and it's almost like a callback to when Luffy was running up the stairs to save Ace. And it's like busting through a door, and you see him looking around, and he sees everybody. And this is just my personal favorite panel of the chapter. So here on page 10, the bottom panel with that narration over it from Yamamoto. It's like, over 20 years in the future, powerful pirates leading the next generation will come swarming into the new world. If I am dead by then, or I guess this would be Odin would be saying this in the anime, it'll be Odin's narration. If I am dead by then, they will be the ones to strike down Kaido. You get this great spread. It's like when Luffy walks up, he's like busts through a door. By the way, like for sure, nobody's been just chilling waiting there. They all just showed up at the same time. But you've got Kid, you've got Killer, you have Luffy, who literally just busted through a door and is doing the Captain Morgan pose. You know, leg up, hand on his hat. Zoro and Law's just chilling on a rock. The boy's just like, if anyone was already there, it was Law. Law probably showed up and just chilled. Was like, let's wait for the main event to show up. Right. And then on the other side of the other page, you get the whole, you get Kaido and Big Mom. And Big Mom's on top of Zeus. But I do like, this was very similar to back on Sabaody when they're coming out of the auction house. And you've got Law, Kid, Luffy, the three captains. Which is, that was so long ago that happened. And here we are calling back to it. It's so great. And I love when Oda does this stuff. Except this time, Kid and Luffy are switched. So it's Law, Luffy, Kid. Right. But also this time, Luffy and Kid have their right-hand men standing to the right of them. And I'm sure, I am absolutely positive, if Law's right-hand men were just a little bit stronger, they would also be there. Which I don't know who his right-hand man is. It's probably Bebo LeBear. But yeah. And it's great. They all have motivations. Right? Law wants to take down some more lords. Like, he's like, it's time to get rid of these old people. Like, they old fools. Kid is pissed. Killer is pissed. Luffy is, at this moment, I think he's like all about, like, he's seen what's happened. He's seen what's going on. He's not a hero by any means, but like, honestly, Luffy hates when people are oppressed and people are not free. That's his whole thing, right? It's protect your friends and family and freedom above all else, right? And Zoro likes slashing people up, honestly. And while that's all it is for him, although he probably more than likely definitely respects Oda as a swordsman and is using Enma now, so yeah, he might as well have the best motivation there. And then Luffy shows up, is like immediate attention. And Kid's all, of course Kid is like, y'all stand back, I got this, don't worry. It's like, oh, Straw Hat. And it's like, oh, look at all these fetching young pirates. Ripe heads, right for the taking. It's like, ugh. And I love how it's like, Luffy was like, how? Kaido and Big Mom. Epic pose. And immediately, he's like, oh, wait, what's that? And starts walking. And honestly, like, I can see this happening in the anime. He's gonna show up. There's gonna be the epic spread. Maybe the episode ends there. Maybe not. But I can see Luffy doing the anime eyes. And I'll throw up a picture right here. There's those eyes that you see in every anime protagonist or character when they are mad. They have no eyes. Their eyes are gone. It's just shadows. And he just starts walking immediately with eyes shadowed, pissed off. Walks right through the middle of Kaido and Big Mom. And Kaido and Big Mom see him walking up. It's like, oh, look at this kid. Look at this punk. He's like talking big smack. He's all like, oh, you won't believe what he said to my face, Big Mom. And Big Mom's like, yeah, man, he's a sassy one. You wouldn't believe what he said. He said the same thing to me, talking smack. He destroyed my castle. Hey, Straw Hat, you owe me a castle. And Luffy's just like, walks right between them. Like, doesn't care that there's these two emperors of the sea right there. He ignores them completely to go past them because he sees Kinemon and the other scabbards on the ground. And, like, they're knocked out. Kinemon's coughing up blood. And Kinemon is just like, in this final moments when I'm dying, I have nothing to show Lord Odin but shame. And of course the characters don't know, but at this point, I don't think Odin's plan for sending them 20 years in the future was for them to beat Kaido. Because in the journal, Odin even says, if I die, the ones who will beat them will be these young pirates from the future. So it's not like it's not that he didn't have faith in his scabbards to defeat Kaido. He had faith in their scabbards to find the ones who will defeat Kaido and bring them to Wano country. But of course they don't know that. So they've been defeated by Kaido and they're thinking, well, I'm gonna die here. And I've done nothing. I have failed Lord Odin. Which is not true. It's not true. But they think it. So I was crying when I first read it. I was bawling. And finally, when we first met Kinemon, he was like, I'm not gonna ask y'all for y'all's help, but if y'all so happen to take me along and y'all find my body, I'll be grateful. Like, he was always like, kind of like, I'm a samurai. I don't need nobody's help. But, just in case, maybe if it happens to play out the way I want it to play out, that'd be great. Very prideful and not wanting to ask for help. But finally we get to this moment of where he's dying. And he literally, for the sake of his country, for the sake of the people he loves, for his pride, he throws his pride as a samurai right out and asks Luffy, yo, will you carry Wano? Literally, will you put Wano on your back? Which honestly has a multitude of things. Like, obviously for gamers like me, that's this thing we say, yo, carry me. Oh, my back hurts from carrying all these people. Like, that's when you're just literally carrying people. But I think there's a second meaning of that, of every time we see Luffy, there's two ways we see Luffy. Either he has his straw hat on his head, or his straw hat on his back. And he's usually wearing it. But when it starts to, the fight's about to get intense, or he's about to go flying some, he puts it on his back. Because that's where he keeps his precious treasure, is he carries it on his back. And so I think this is Kinemon asking Luffy to protect Wano country like he protects his treasure. Which is just... And of course, Luffy's like, of course I will. It's my friend's country. When I read that, even though I was super emotional at the moment, and so much was going through my head, because my brain works this way, I immediately got the Naruto Bluebird theme song. You are my friend. Na, 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 na. It's like, ah. And then you get a panel of Kinemon crying. Immediately after you have Kaido's up behind Luffy. It's like, oi, boy, stop ignoring me and we'll beat you down. And Luffy's still ignoring the Emperor. Still ignoring him. It's like, Trophy, send them below. And without missing a beat, Trophy's just like, sends him. Like, I bet you anything he's holding him, and Trophy like immediately was just like, room ready. As soon as he sees Luffy turn his head, room sends him. Then immediately after he sends, Kaido strikes down. Luffy jumps up out of the way. Gear 3. Gum. And then it stops mid of this. And for, I think, the first time ever, we get flashbacks for the first hit. And it's like the Raizo is alive flashback. It's like, we would never sell a friend to the enemy. It's from Neko-san. Kinemon saying, we've crossed through time to arrive here from the Wano of 20 years ago. Hyo, with the fire of rebellion still burns. The sparks have not gone out. It's like all these people. Momo crying, saying he wants to kill Kaido, or defeat Kaido. Yasuo's death, his crucifixion in front of the townspeople. It's like the friendly oddball of Ebisu Town will make the final journey. The seeing the scabbards in Toki receiving the news that Lord Odin was taken to the flower capital to be executed. Just flashback. And honestly, like, most of the time we see these flashbacks, and it's when he's about to hit that final punch, that final blow to knock out the enemy. But I think, and honestly, like, it works most of the time. Every time we've seen that, it's been made sense, because at that point of the fight, that's when Luffy is at his peak angry and is ready to beat them. But here we see it at the front, because Luffy's there already. Most of the time he's like, I'm gonna fight you, I'm gonna beat you up, and then later on, like, he's thinking about his friends and everything, and then he's like, nah, I gotta wreck you now. But here, he's starting the fight there. We are starting the fight at that peak level that we've always seen Luffy. And it's just, he punches with that fiery giant Gear 3 punch and calls it Red Rock. Which, it's rock like the bird, like from D&D. The giant mythical bird that is just huge. Which, oh my god, I just this? Ah! Because Kaido's fruit is the fish. Luffy is the bird. Oda's so good at this. This chapter is definitely one that you reread. Like, I've read it already like 8 times, 9 times. I don't know. I keep rereading it. I keep finding new things. I'm finding things now. Like, that is some good storytelling. He punches Kaido with an attack called Red Rock. Luffy is the bird. Kaido is the fish. Also, I saw somewhere, now I'm not entirely sure if it's true, but I did see somewhere from a pretty trusted source that the kanji used for Red Rock is very similar, if not the same, as the kanji used for Fire Fist. So not only is this the inherited will of Ace wanting to come and destroy Kaido for what he's done to Wano country and to the people that he's met there, but it's Luffy. I mean, it's also the whole bird fish thing, but this evidence of the inherited will between Ace and Luffy, and how I really truly think that Luffy is gonna finish off Kaido in continuation of Ace's legacy. And like, Kaido is not out, but that hurt. You could tell it hurt. And Big Mom's like, "What are you doing, fool? How could you let that kid hit you with such an easy attack like that?" And then this part right here. You see Luffy, head on his hat, cloak flowing, just like we saw Joy Boy so many chapters before. "I am Monkey D. Luffy, and I am the man who will surpass you and be the king of the pirates." Boom. And that's how the chapter ends. And it's such a good chapter. I can't. My brain. There's so much. Like, I didn't even think of that before. The whole fact that it's the Red Rock is a bird, and we're assuming that the fish that Big Mom gave Kaido, he ate it, the fish fruit. And it's just, it's such a good chapter. And honestly, like, Oda outdid himself with this chapter. It's so good. The flow was great. The art is amazing. And I'm excited for what future chapters hold. And so I have no theories about the future. We know that that the next couple chapters are going to be the Kaido Luffy fight, or the Kaido and Generation of the Worst fight. Like, there's no doubt about it. And this is it. Like, I'd have to see what others think, but I think that the Kyumo and the Scabbers being defeated is the... I don't know if this is the end of Act 3. I personally think it is. My personal opinion. But I'd have to see what others in the community say, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. It's just so great. I've been following this show for so long. And here we are, chapter 1000. And I'm still getting hyped every chapter. So. It was a really good chapter. I really enjoyed it. I am excited for the next few chapters to see the fight. And honestly, I wanted to try to wait to read the chapter till today, but I couldn't. I originally thought of that because originally we saw that the date was going to be January 4th, which is a Monday, which was yesterday, which we thought was weird. But no, it came out on Sunday like normal. But I was kind of like, oh, that's great. It's like, but I still consider it like this. Chapter 1000, it makes me excited. I'm also glad it came out on January 3rd because today is January 5th. It's my birthday. And honestly, I like to consider it as a good birthday present. Gosh, my English is terrible today. Present. And so yeah, it's a great chapter. Thanks for watching. Oh, almost forgot. So they do this apparently. I just found out about this year. Didn't know about this before. But apparently they do this thing every year at the end of the year in Japan called Jump Fest. Jump Fest, something like that. And like, you know, it's a really cool thing they do, celebration of Shonen Jump and like all the stuff. And there's usually announcements from the different mangas and animes and whatnot. And Oda came out with a pretty great something that we would see more of Shanks this year. Which some people are saying it's similar to the whole Year of Sanji thing, but it's the Year of Shanks. Which I don't know. But it's exciting to see Shanks. We haven't seen Shanks in a while. So, yeah. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. And see you later.